Well, greetings once again. This is Dr. Bill Bailey, and this is the Handheld Hack. The Handheld Hack, of course, is the netcast that has to do with handheld devices and maybe making some interesting modifications and so forth with those devices. But most of the time, we're talking about handheld computing and smartphones, things along that line. I have a smartphone here, my Optimus G Pro, which I really, really like. This is basically the best phone I think I've ever had. It's really, really awesome. And it's got a 16 by 9 full HD. Matter of fact, they call it a phablet because it's so big. It's a phone and a tablet together. I'm telling you, this is awesome. Anyway, I don't want to get too distracted before we get fully started today on the Netcast. We are proud members of the Tech Podcast Network, techpodcast.com. If it's tech, it's right here on the Handheld Hack. So I'm glad you could join us for today's Netcast. Now, we got a few items here to talk about since our last video Netcast, which was number 19. That makes this one number 20. We kind of come out semi-occasionally with the Handheld Hack, so keep that in mind. But we are looking here at a news item that came out this past week. Actually, maybe it was toward the end of last week. Microsoft buys Nokia. Now, we were talking about phones here. And by the way, I've got my beeper here because I'm on call. That's why that's there. At any rate, Microsoft bought Nokia because Nokia is the #1 maker of Windows 8 phones. And Microsoft is making a big push into the smartphone arena. They, as most pundits these days say, they believe that we are moving into a post-PC era. And so they're trying to position themselves for this new handheld era. And of course, that fits right here on the Handheld Hack, so I had to mention that they bought Nokia for $7.2 billion. Woo! Would not like to have $7.2 billion. But anyway, another big announcement that came out on September the 3rd as well was that there is a new Kindle Paperwhite version. In other words, the folks at Amazon, Jeff Bezos, announced the new Kindle Paperwhite, a new version of it, and he basically was touting the virtues of the Paperwhite. Now, I got a Paperwhite, the original version, for my wife Belinda, and she really enjoys it. It's very crisp, and basically what he was saying in this new one is that they are going more for, less for a tablet, more for a true reader, basically e-reader type implementation. And the idea there is not to try to have a bunch of apps, a bunch of icons on the screen, but keeping it just for an e-reader. And so they keep making advancements in this Paperwhite technology where the screen really does look like white paper with black ink on it. And so that is an incremental I guess you'd call it an advancement, incremental advancement in that particular technology. Other than that, it's pretty much very similar to the original version. And the original version is awesome. I've seen it, and it's very easy to read. You can blow the text up really large. Really nice. Okay, next item we have here. And this is a bit old news at this point. But, as I say, we come out with a Handheld Hack kind of semi-occasionally, so this also happened early in this month, and that is that Android, the new version, according to Google, will be called KitKat. All right, as I said on the Dr. Bill Show, I love KitKat bars. Great chocolate, got that little crunch. What is not to like? I mean, wow. Well, anyway, KitKat is the next version. Now, basically, what they're doing is they're going by letter A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. So I was ice cream sandwich, J was jelly bean, and K is KitKat. Got it? Okay. You say, Dr. Bill, you're 57 years old and you've got to recite ABCD as a rhyme in order to get it. Yes, I do. It's just the way my brain works. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, now this is an interesting one. This is not quite a handheld. It's more of a wristwatch type device, you know, like Dick Tracy. But it's not one of the new iWatches that they're talking about. This particular device is a biometric wristband called Nimmi, I guess, by Bionim. So this is the Nimmi by Bionim. That's hard to say. Anyway, the whole idea of this is that it will scan. It does basically, instead of, well, let me back up. Instead of iris scans, instead of fingerprints, as the new, iPhone model does with its fingerprint sensor, this senses your heart rate. Now, I was not aware that your heart rate is as unique as your fingerprints. Who knew, you know? I didn't know that. But at any rate, you train it to your heart rate. So you are the original owner. You put it on your wrist. It senses your heart rate. And from then on, you can use this as a means of authentication. It basically uses an electrocardiogram embedded in the device, a sensor, to identify the unique characteristics of your heartbeat and pairs your personal ECG to your device. Once paired, the Nimmi is yours and only yours to use, making it as valuable as your SIM card, your driver's license, or your set of keys. It's used to authenticate you wherever you go. And then they have a video. And I have the video here on the Handheld Hack website, handheldhack.com, as it says there on the screen. Go there and check it out. Watch the video, because this guy, he basically just waves his wristwatch device up to things, and it, you know, pays for his food and gets him through the door and so forth. Basically use it like a set of keys. So, in effect, your heart rate becomes your key to get into your technology. How weird is that? At any rate, who knows? You know, there may be a time that the sensors get miniaturized even further and are so sensitive and so accurate that it will just identify you by your presence. You know, your heart, your eyes, your whatever. So you walk up to a device and it just comes on and says, "Hi, Dr. Bill, how you doing today?" You know, and that's all you need for authentication. That's pretty cool. I mean, it's weird, but it's pretty cool. So check this video out. You really have to see it in order to fully grab a hold of what I'm talking about here, all right? So anyway, it's amazing where we're headed with technology, and I tell you what, I am all over it. I'm all about this new tech, and I'm excited about. Oh, by the way, you may notice we're back in our studio. You know, we've got our stuff behind us here, the Angry Bird and Tux and the TARDIS over here, and then over here we've got the Angry Bird's pig that is their what would you call it, nemesis. So anyway, got the whole gang back there again. So anyway, it's kind of good to be back in the studio. We're going to keep spiffing it up, changing things around, and just making it better to do our netcasts here at drbillbailey.net. And by the way, reminds me, don't forget that we are on Roku. We have our very own Roku channel. Now, that is drbillbailey.net netcast, and it's available in the channel store. All you have to do is go to roku.com, log into your Roku account if you have a Roku device. If you don't, you need to get one. But log into your Roku account, go to their channel search, and type in dr.billbailey, Dr. Bill Bailey, and you'll find all of our channels that we have produced out there. One of which is drbillbailey.net netcast, and of course the Handheld Hack is there. VertZine is there. We have a new VertZine this week, so go check that out. Got a real neat demo of Cindy Thinlink on that. And of course the Dr. Bill Show, lots of craziness there. So we got all kinds of shows for you to enjoy. Check them out. Connect via your Roku And don't forget to 5-star us. Okay? I found a neat trick about that. Okay? If you have us already on your Roku, select the channel, the little box, make it, highlight it, and then on your remote, hit the star button. And if you do that, it'll bring up a screen where you can 5-star us right there, hit OK, and you're done. Okay? You say, Dr. Bill, why is it so important to 5-star the channel? Because that elevates us in the rankings and makes it easier for folks to find the silliness that is the Dr. Bill channel and show and so forth. So do that for me. That will be a big help. All right? All right, well, I'm going to head on out of here. Remember, until next time, you're only as good as your last hack.